Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today on Retro Wednesday, we're going to take a look at the CPS System 3, or the Capcom Play System 3, or the Capcom Power System 3. I've heard people call this a million different things. I think it's actually Capcom Play System, but whatever. This was Capcom's last dedicated hardware before they would move on to things like the Taito 2 arcade board and other arcade boards, what have you. So this is actually a piece of history here. You'll remember that the CPS2 games were basically, you had a motherboard and then you had the game cartridge on top, and they were nice thick, but they were, you know, like huge. So this is more of like a dedicated sort of motherboard, and it comes in a lot of different parts. So first things I want to do, very first thing is, on the back, well actually, you know what, let's show you the whole thing. So you'll notice here, this particular model, the metal was starting to all corrode. I've since sprayed all this so it can't get any worse. It's just basically going to be the same way it's been since here. You have your kick harness here, you've got your JAMA connector here, and then you've got for stereo out, and it's surrounded in this like metal shell. You'll see you can put something here, you've got some sort of dial here, and you've got a reset switch in there. And then if I were to just, you know, turn this all around, pretty much you've got what appears to be like a Molex cable and an IDE port here. Wonder what that's all about too. So let's go ahead and take this off. You'll notice right here there was a screw, which is right there. You just need a standard Phillips or Star screwdriver to take that off. And so yeah, it's not really hard. There you go. It's basically a protective, it's a protective shield. So here you go, you have a much nicer look at the inside of the unit here. So we have a few things, I'll walk you around. This is for the RAM for the games. You've got your reset switch here, and you've got a volume dial here. And that's pretty much all she wrote. Okay, I'm not going to get into the specifics here, but I just wanted to give you a little overview. You'll notice this one has definitely been modified and or repaired. You can see right here, there's like a little wire going with some glue and stuff, but this does work. This bad boy works. Now, not only did you get the motherboard, but there was something very important that you also got with this. So let's move that over there. And something very important, you got this. And this is a standard CD drive. And you would take the IDE cable right here and throw it into the back on the other side. And then you'd need a Molex cable like this in order to power the thing up. Pretty good, eh? So that's basically a complete CPS 3 system right here. Now this particular one, I have used the dark soft, I don't know what you call it, BIOS I guess, because here's the deal guys. You'll remember with the CPS2 that there were suicide batteries that you had to change every so often. Yes, you could Phoenix the games to bring them back to life. Well, that same sort of security technology was brought over from the CPS2 onto the CPS3. And Darksoft and I forget, there was more than just Darksoft, but anyways, worked on this workaround to basically remove encryption and things like that. So here's the real way the games work. So let's say I have here, I have Street Fighter 3 Second Impact, okay? So the way this would work is inside this, there is a suicide battery right here, or there, I don't remember which side it's on, okay? And so you would put this, if I can do it on this angle, there we go. So you would put that cartridge in like that, and then you'd put the game disc in here, and basically it has to work together. It encrypts the game, decrypts the game, and then you loads it onto the system, onto the RAM, and you're good to go. You can play the game, and there you go. The thing is, it's one thing to solder the batteries onto the CPS2 games, but it's something else to constantly have to take these things apart. Let me just grab it out. All right. You know, having to remove the screws, take this out, work on a little thing, put on a battery. I mean, you can do it by, like, sure. But here's the thing. There were only 6 games ever released on this particular platform. So that means you need 6 security cards, 6 CDs, and this layout you see right here. And I was like, there's got to be another way. There's got to be an easier way. It's 6 games. I don't want to have to do this. You know, it's one thing for my CPS2 collection. It's a wide assortment of games. But for this, I'm like, there's got to be something handy because I'm not going to play this as frequently as CPS2. And there is. And this is where the Darksoft Super BIOS comes in. No batteries, okay? You don't need batteries. All you got to do is you take this, you plunk this down here, and since I'm going to be recording footage any minute now, I'm going to leave it in there, and then you would put games here. They're essentially ROMs. It's the exact same game, but you get them on like a CDR type of thing like this, and these are not like bootleg or like ROM hacks or anything like that. No, these are the real games. But what's done is the encryption has been removed. So what you can do is you can actually say, okay, I want to play, say, you want to play this. You want to play Street Fighter 3 Second Impact, okay? Well, all you got to do is once this boots, you select that game, put in the appropriate disk, and it will flash onto the system, and it'll load, take like half an hour or so to do. And you're good to go. You've got yourself your game. So this particular hardware, unfortunately, was right at the dying days of arcades. So it houses just a couple of games. Like I said, 6 games. You've got the Street Fighter 3 series and 3 other games. And I'm not going to tell you what those are because I would rather you see them in the reviews. So we're going to be reviewing all 6 games over the next 6 weeks. And right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect all of this up and just give you a very quick overview of some of the features that the Darksoft Super BIOS has. I mean, it's very, very basic stuff, just showing you that you just load a game, something really, really simple. Alright guys, so that's just a very quick overview. If you're looking to purchase one of these things, just make sure it works. That's the key thing here. And make sure that you get everything here. You can always buy an IDE cable or a Molex cable. That's not the end of the world. And I guess in theory you could probably purchase just a CD drive. I've never actually tried it. But if you want to do the Darksoft mod, it's with the RAM here. You're going to have to make sure you buy a specific game that has all the RAM that's required in order to run all the different games. There's a lot of information out there. I don't pretend to be an expert on any of this. So anyways, that's pretty much it. That's a big overview. It was a really great piece of hardware. It just came out at the wrong time, and it was the end of arcades in North America, which was really sad and depressing. Anyways, let's go ahead and boot this bad boy up. So when you first boot up the system, this is exactly what you'll see. If you press the start button on player 1, you're taken into this particular screen. And I'm just going to go into the rewrite new game, and you'll see there's all the different games there. When you see Third Strike A and B, it's because there was a revision done to Third Strike, and they're all included here. So you just pick the game you want. And that's pretty much it. You just have to make sure that the game disk will have obviously the content on it, and it writes it to the motherboard. And that's pretty much it. Then you have to wait. As you can see, it's going to erase your old data, and then it's going to slowly write the new data. And it might error once or twice. Just go ahead and keep trying it, but eventually it will go through so long as your disk isn't corrupt. And that's pretty much how the Darksoft system works. Now, we're not obviously going to wait 40 minutes here. I'm just going to edit this, and away we'll go. Now you'll notice that we're at 98%. And I wanted to show you just very quickly what happens as you go through here once it hits 100%, because it's kind of neat. And you only have to do this every time you want to rewrite a new game, but that's completely normal. Alright,
So it says 9 seconds, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on, let's go. Okay, there you go. So you get to this particular screen where you can actually pick or select the different regions. So Japan, Asia, Euro, USA, Hispanic, Brazil, and Oceania. So take one guess which one I am going to select. And you're right. That's exactly the one I'm going to select. It will be USA. Okay, so then you get the dark soft menu here telling you what game you have. Then it basically boots up, so you get the warning, the logo, and all that. So that's pretty much the way this works. But there's also the test menu that each one of these games has, and I'm going to show you that right now. So here's your generic test menu, and you have all your different settings like you'd normally expect to find. So I'm just going to go in here and just quickly show you, so you can change your coin slots and see what's gonna happen there. You can change your game settings, you know, your typical stuff. It's just this is all the generic stuff that you would expect to find on a modern motherboard-based arcade hardware. So anyways, guys, that's pretty much it. I'm going to leave you with the intro to Street Fighter 3. I hope you enjoyed this review, and you can look forward to some awesome reviews coming up starting next week.